Bruce Cassidy's either Logan Thompson or Reilly Smith will be available on Saturday following injuries in Thursday night's.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
VGK road win in Calgary. Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco along with Chris Golick. We appreciate you making us your first listen each and every day, your team every single stinking day. And you can find us on Twitter at LockdownVGK, at Tony Dasco, at TD Chris G, and Locked On Golden Knights is the place to be right there on YouTube. So, Chris, Reilly Smith and Logan Thompson, here we go again. Same old story, broken record, injuries. Both left the game in VGK's 3-2 victory on the road. It was their sixth consecutive road win last night. And it's pretty alarming because Bruce Cassidy said following the game that he already knew that neither of those players would be available for Saturday night's game in Edmonton.
That's definitely a concern, right? He's usually pretty coy about injuries, and he doesn't like to be asked about injuries after the game. But obviously, injuries of this magnitude, two injuries of this magnitude, you knew Ashley had to ask that question. And Bruce, I mean, is as honest as he could have been. And the fact that now he's saying neither most likely available on Saturday, that's a concern. Logan Thompson, it looks like it's a hamstring issue. That's what people were saying. Obviously, same type of injury, it looks like. Hopefully he finds a way back. Hopefully we'll get lucky, but I'm trying not to assume it's a season-ending situation for Logan Thompson.
Well, at least, he'll have Saturday off and then take your time. And after VGK clinches and wraps things up, do you need to keep driving them? That's going to be the bigger question, I think. They're going to play for positioning. But right now, and is it a case, you hate to say this, but did Logan Thompson come back too soon?
I'll argue against that. So I was concerned, if you recall, right around the All-Star break. Shea Theodore played in the back-to-back, I believe. Zach Whitecloud came back after the break. But my question with regards to Theodore was, why would he come back right before the All-Star break when you have, however long, 10 days off or whatever the number was after that? Because obviously he wasn't going to be part of the All-Star game. So you have to trust that the medical staff is doing the right thing, advising the coaches of the right thing, and keeping the players' best interest. And honestly, this might be the type of thing where it doesn't matter if he took off 45 days, 25 days, or 65 days. If he can get through it, he can get through it. Unfortunately, it might need surgery to get through it now. And did coming back last night instead of coming back next week be the reason that happened? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I hope not, but we'll see. Not sure what's happening here, but I think we got something interesting coming with Tony.
I know nothing.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's what that said. Because all of a sudden, so Cassidy just goes, I know nothing. And, it could be something, with his but I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. But 37 big saves for LT. And then
a great game.
His first game back since February the 9th. So That was a terrific game. Was it the best game that you've seen all season long? Because I know that
I thought after the first 14 minutes of the game, I was a genius. I mean, they got off to a good starts.
Yeah.
They had some luck on their side, so to speak, with the kick in, the disallowed goal.
Puck luck.
What are you gonna say?
Was it puck luck?
A little bit of puck luck. I mean, I don't know, their goals they got were really nice. You saw, we'll hit the recap more in the second segment, but I felt good, after the first few minutes of the game about my prediction, and this would be a really strong effort. And listen, you look at the defensive side of the game, it was a very strong effort, right? I mean, technically 4 pucks got behind the goalies, but one of them was a pretty blatant kick, like twice, like both kicks looked like they were blatant with that one. And then the net off the moorings, that was there might be a little WTF about that one in the third segment, but that was a very strange way for Logan Thompson to approach that, to skate to the ref, to the liney over on the blue line. Like, so there's two things wrong with that situation there. One, no one saw the net was off. Fine, whatever. There's instant replay. LT, chill out. But I think what he was trying to do was get the linesman's attention beforehand, like before the play came back. So with the play on the other side of the, let's say the Vegas Golden Knights would have scored a goal in that sequence, right? The goal is good. The goal is good because the VGK net being off has nothing to do with anything. Obviously, you cannot score a goal or be scored on when your net is off. So LT, a little bit of youngster, not enough patience there, not enough stamina for LT there.
And Cassidy did have a little bit of a sense of humor when he said, well, I wish that he wouldn't have just skated off so he could give
I saw that.
a little bit more time so that Quick could get onto the ice a little bit sooner.
Yeah, LT don't care at that point.
What about the Reilly Smith injury? I know nothing.
So at first I thought there was like a rib situation or something like that happening because he got hit pretty good. Shoulder almost like right under the arm, and he went down kind of awkwardly. Coach Cassidy called it a lower body situation. When you watch the hit, like, it's kind of hard to see, like, he didn't land awkwardly or directly on anything. So I don't know exactly what's happened. No one knows what's happened. Well, people do, but they're not going to say anything, obviously. So the glass half full approach that happened in the second period of the game. Reilly Smith came out for a single shift in the third period, and unfortunately, he went straight back down the tunnel. So the hope, at least on my side, was whether they did a quick X-ray or however they quickly look at someone to see what's going on. They found nothing major. They didn't see a broken bone. They didn't, see something that was going to be like, okay, you got to not go back in this game. So I'm hoping this is just some soreness, a little tender, just couldn't maybe get enough of a push off going on. You really hope that there's not something major that's going to come out of that. I'm really hoping, a couple days, let's see what happens. And then, come Monday, Tuesday next week, we'll get a better outlook for Reilly Smith, maybe making a return as early as next week some point. That's, no disrespect to Logan Thompson, but we've been getting it done without him. Reilly Smith, I think, would be an even more catastrophic blow right now than Logan Thompson. I mean that with no disrespect whatsoever.
Wow. Yeah. Second in scoring goals on this team. And he had that 9-game point streak broken in that contest as well last night. We saw Jonathan Quick. There was a good push by the Flames, but not enough. Was it Uyghur who put that shot right into the crest there sort of late with about a minute?
I was working when it was happening, so I'm like kind of looking off to the screen while I'm working, trying to see what's going on. I saw the sequence. I don't know who shot it, but Quick, it went to the crest, but Quick also came out to challenge, which is part of the reason why that went right in the crest. So he definitely did a good job cutting the angle down, but I thought Quick got hurt. I don't know, Tony, if you guys.
Yeah. I was going to ask you that. I know nothing.
Twisted.
I know nothing.
So in one of those last sequences, right around what you're saying, he kind of got put, not bumped hard or anything. It was just a play, nothing dirty or anything like that. But he went down and like his right side twisted as he went back. And I'm like, oh my God, are we going to, I thought an E-bug. I honestly thought the E-bug was going to have to get dressed and make an appearance at that point right there. That was absolutely freaking wild. There you go.
You think he tweaked something?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he was able to finish the game, but you got adrenaline and all sorts of things happening. Maybe the fact that he wasn't stretched out maybe is why he didn't get hurt on that play. I don't know. I know nothing.
It's just pretty funny, though, how VGK has made all the right moves. Again, they bring Logan Thompson and they bring Laurent Brossoit on this road trip with them.
Practicing.
Right. So now, whose turn is it?
It's Quick. I think Quick goes first. I think they're going to be careful with Larry because Laurent Brossoit, I mean, look what happened. He, now he's a different situation, much different than Logan Thompson because, yes, Brossoit only played a couple of games at the NHL level and got hurt, but he had been active for months, I believe, at that point with the Henderson Silver Knights because he came back around late October, early November, got shelled early, right? So he goes on the conditioning stint to Henderson, has to get called up by the rule, by the way it works, gets called up, immediately gets sent on waivers with the purpose of the AHL. No one would even touch him. And it makes sense, no disrespect, but, he just simply wasn't in form yet. And then he found his game at the AHL level. We saw that with the Golden Knights. He had a good game going. He had a good situation going. And then that just that some of the saves in that game against the Dallas Stars are some of the best I've ever seen in my life live. So we know Brossoit has a gear right now, but how tender is he going to be? I mean, is there a line on seeing Yuri Patera again as a VGK this year? Think about that for a second.
Yeah, I was thinking
and again,
Aiden Hill. Is Aiden Hill skating now? So they're going to live to
we didn't even talk about Aiden Hill through all this. Like, what's going on here? This is the script writes itself, guys. The script writes itself.
I know. So Chris texted me last night. He just goes, the script wrote itself for tomorrow's show. And coming up next, we'll go according to that script. We're going to talk about last night's game. We'll go a little bit more in depth on that. And don't forget, coming up later, stay with us because WTF, it's a banger, as they say in the biz. That's coming up in the final segment today. You're listening and watching Locked On Golden Knights. No matter how the game went, anytime that you take the field or the ice, in this instance, right, you've got a chance at greatness. Give your team the best shot at winning by recruiting more MVPs with Indeed. If you are hiring, then you need Indeed because Indeed is the hiring partner where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. And Indeed is the only job site where you're guaranteed to find the quality applicants that meet your must-have requirements, and otherwise you just don't pay. And Indeed is spending hours on multiple job sites, hoping to find candidates with all the right skills that you need. One powerful hiring partner, and they can help you to do it all. Indeed partners with you every step of the hiring process. They find great talent through the time-saving tools, through Indeed Instant Match, through assessments and virtual interviews. And make sure that you check it out. Indeed makes it easy to hire great talent. According to ComScore, Indeed is the #1 job site worldwide. 4 times more hires than any other job, and all the other job sites, I should say, according to Talent Nest. Join the more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire their talent very fast. So start hiring right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/lockedon. And the offer is valid through March 31st. Again, Indeed.com/lockedon to claim your $75 credit before next week in March the 31st. Welcome back to Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. You can find us, again, wherever podcasts are available. And check out the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. So, Chris, last night I made a promise that I would never, ever, ever be caught up there in the hockey press box. And that's where I was for the NCAA tournament. I was with the Overflow Media. A lot of us scrubs were upstairs. Hey, by the way, so the NC2A, I got to point this out. It's not even WTF time yet. And I don't drink, but I feel for all those poor souls that couldn't find any liquor. You couldn't find any liquor right there. The only place that they had liquor inside T-Mobile Arena, it was upstairs at Hyde Lounge. That was it.
Why?
Because all my scrub friends were up there too, so that was fun. I went by there to say.
I mean, but why you couldn't go to the regular concession and get a beer?
You could get a beer or wine, but you could not get hard liquor.
Oh,
NCAA.
Yes.
Okay, they let us slide a little bit here in Vegas on the gambling side because now that's legal. Okay, but what are these? The prohibition days, for crying out loud? This is WTF.
You can't get hard. Well, but the Bud Light Lounge and stuff
anywhere else. No, nowhere else. That was it. The only place was Hyde Lounge, and I swear it was locked down. And that nice woman that's up there in the press box. I don't know. You probably know her, see her, whatever. We had a little wager because I said, "Hey, can I get to Hyde Lounge through here? Because I just feel kind of awkward."
Oh, I know a shortcut you can do. I know a shortcut.
So I did the shortcut.
You found it?
She goes, "You're not getting in." I said, "What do you?" I know nothing. She goes, "You will not get into the lounge." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
Right behind the curtain.
I bet you I will.
Right behind the curtain. Right through the curtain.
The curtain was locked down. Everything was shut down. So I did see my man Tommy there, the general manager, and all my good friends up there. And so I went in and I hung out in there, and it was fun. but that was the only place to get booze. If you're going to the championship game on Saturday, then make sure that you buy a ticket. You have to buy a ticket to go in there. You can't go in any other way, but to have a ticket that you purchased to go in there, because the NC2A is still a little bit, I don't know, a little whack. Okay, where were we again? Oh yeah, we want to recap last night's game.
Preview.
Yeah. Let's do that. So I had another question too, because I was watching hockey, but I'm watching basketball live, and I'm watching another basketball game live, and it was just so much fun. This is March Madness. Paul Cotter, is he injured? The way that Cassidy started going and swaying and moving a little bit when he got to Cotter, he said he was out tonight. He did not say healthy scratch. He said he was out tonight. I don't know if you.
I hear what you're saying. I think he was just simply saying he drew out, but maybe. Listen,
he drew out. Okay.
If Ron Bjerger Phrase gets called up on an emergency, then we'll know something else is happening.
That's funny. Okay, so 16-3-2 in their last 21 games. 16-3-2. Is this VGK team, peaking at the right time?
Oh, I definitely think so. They're obviously peaking right now. I'm curious about the second period in the last game, because this will continue their streak. So again, second period, they push, which is a good thing. So now that they've only lost, I think, 4 times in the second period post All-Star break, which is kind of cool. They're definitely peaking right now. Are they peaking a little bit too early? I don't think so. I don't think there is such a thing when you're down to less than the teens, 10 games left in the season right now. So hopefully they can find a way to secure the division. But looking at the standings, like, your gift for securing the division right now is a matchup against Winnipeg. Honestly, Nashville can surpass. Come on, Nashville, let's go. Give me the Cody Glass revenge tour instead of going against Connor Hellebuck. Please, Nashville, let's find a way. Or Seattle might even fall out of it too. They're still slumping right now. So
they're slumping, yeah.
We'll see. Peaking, there's no wrong time to peak. No wrong time to peak right now.
Okay, VGK with a little bit of a lineup shift last night. So we saw again Stevenson, Kessel, and Waugh. The return of Nick Waugh.
All three of them got a goal.
How about that?
Yeah, no, it was nice. Nick Waugh starts with the forecheck on the boards, gets it to Stevenson, gets it to Kessel, right back to Waugh, who knew exactly what to do with it as he got in tight right there. So, that's another line, at least for a few minutes. We'll see if one of those, if Kessel and or Nick Waugh get the bump to replace Reilly Smith right now. I think you almost have to do that unless, I don't know, Paul Cotter. Can you imagine if line 2 is all of a sudden Carlson, Dorofeev, Cotter? Like, is that a possibility right now? I don't know. It's
what they come up
Cassidy's
with
got
road,
some
especially.
like you hate to see them mess with all 4 of the lines to make that work. Maybe this is a spot where you drop Marchessault down and maybe you put Cotter back up on that first line, something along those lines.
Really?
Because Cotter has had some time up on the first line. So
Okay.
I don't know. There's a couple different ways they can attack this right now.
Calgary 0-18-3 when trailing after 2 periods. That second period was just blah. It was lackluster,
Which is fine.
But I think VGK essentially knocked Calgary out of the playoffs, because now they're 6 points back of Winnipeg now, because Winnipeg had a win, right? And then
They played 3 more games than Nashville too, which hurts.
Yeah. So in any event, though, I think Winnipeg, with the win coupled with the VGK victory over Calgary, and they're in single digits, 9 or 8 games left, I think, for Calgary. I think 8 games remaining. Nine games.
Yeah, 9.
Okay. So that's going to be an uphill battle. So in any event, good defense for VGK. I know that Cassidy had talked about that, allowing no odd man rushes in that game.
Yeah, the Flames had some good chances, but teams are always going to have some good chances. I did feel, very strongly that this would be, one of the best VGK efforts of the season. And like I said, after the first period, I felt pretty strong about that still. And then the game got, strange down the stretch, but the defensive side was there definitely. Only 2 goals against, and technically 4 goals got in the net, like we said earlier, but one was the kick and one was the net being off. So we can scratch those, and another good defensive effort. So, you're almost looking like you got a little bit of, a plug and play in the goal, right? Whoever is out, next one goes in, and the defense does their job. Goalie's got to go in there and simply make their layups right now. And that's what Jonathan Quick's going to need to do for a little bit, and Laurent Brossoit. And all of a sudden now we're hoping Aiden Hill is on the mend right now. We forgot about Aiden Hill for a minute there, and now also we need Aiden Hill back
So
because
did
you don't know
Cassidy.
which goalie's going to go down.
Cassidy also forgot about him. He's just
forgot Aiden Hill. Patera's the other guy. Like
the other guy.
If there's one thing he should know, it's the goalies in Vegas.
I'm one of those guys that reads the box score like every game, and team effort and all that. VGK 32 blocked shots in that game last night. 32. So that's
crazy.
Terrific effort. Were you surprised it really was not as physical as the first meeting?
A little bit. I mean, sure. There was some hits there. I mean, Reilly Smith got freaking thumped, but there wasn't a product of it being a mean and nasty game.
Right. No, it wasn't at all. And VGK 0 for 1 on the power play.
Because Paul Cotter was out. We didn't get the revenge fight. There you
go. We did not get the revenge fight. I know nothing. They gave up a power play goal, however, as well. Coming up again on Saturday, the first of two, one there in the Great North, and then VGK and Edmonton will tangle here in Las Vegas. And Connor McDavid, that's really the story there in Edmonton. And how are they going to stop him with this 60-goal season?
So here's just some intel here about Edmonton right now. They played 2 games this week. They played the Sharks. They played the Coyotes. They won both of those games.
They played no games. I mean, if they play those 2 teams, are you really saying those are games?
They won them in overtime is my points. They took overtime at home fresh to beat the Sharks, to beat Arizona. And those are not exactly world beater types of teams right now. And you look at Edmonton is doing exactly what Edmonton does. They score a bunch of goals. They do some weird things with with their defense. Like they lose 4-7 against Toronto. They have to win 6-4 against Seattle. They're winning by scoring goals right now, not by keeping them out of their net right now. So I love watching McDavid. That's my favorite player in the world. End of story. That nothing's ever going to change that. But I like the situation that we're in with Edmonton in the Pacific because we get to see a lot of Connor McDavid. They are not going to be a threat. I'm sorry. They are. I think I put a tweet out there, or no, I said this on Facebook to somebody. The Edmonton Oilers are the lipstick on a pig version of the Buffalo Sabres.
Ooh.
Okay. The Buffalo Sabres not been in the playoffs since 11, 12, whatever it is right now. And, there's still no danger of that happening this season, or who knows what's going to happen next season. Edmonton Oilers, they got a much better roster, and they did make it to the conference finals. So they did take a step forward last season. But honestly, until they get their goaltending situation, they are not going to be a threat to win a Stanley Cup. They're not. I know Connor McDavid. I know Leon Draisaitl. I know these guys are the best of the best, and I'm not going to fight you on that. But I will fight you on their ability to keep the other teams from scoring. And in the playoffs, the goals go down. And by the way, Jonathan Quick played the Edmonton Oilers pretty well in the playoffs last year. If you haven't forgotten, in round 1, shut them out once,
7 games,
2 games in games, 2 goals against in game 7, and a couple other, like it was, so Oilers are a very good team, but they are not a threat to even emerge from the West, let alone win a cup right now.
I was trying to see if they would have to be traveling, playing another game, put another game in there.
You wanted to get the schedule. I know, Tony. I know.
I did take a look at the schedule. And again, their last game was on Wednesday night against the Coyotes. They went 2-1 on their road trip, and they lost to the Kraken. They beat the Kraken 6-4.
Yeah, it was a weird game.
So they were 3-0 on this road swing. Oh, they come in with so much momentum. It's so rigged. So rigged. Coming up next, we're going to have our WTF. It is that time. What the Friday comes your way next. We'll have some of your comments. I know Chris will be firing away. We'll talk about that as we return right here on Locked On Golden Knights. At the end of this weekend, we're going to have the Final Four in college basketball, but no liquor on the concourse, of course, at T-Mobile Arena. But we remind you that you need to download FanDuel. It's America's #1 sportsbook because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet does not win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you could bet on everything from the money line to the point scorers to the three-pointers that are drained. And, of course, they've got all sorts of player props, points, rebounds, assists, all of that. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at the bigger payout with the same game parlay. So don't miss your chance to get the no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/locked on. Again, FanDuel.com/locked on to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the National Basketball Association. Welcome back. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen each and every day. And thanks for making us, again, your option, your first option. There's so many podcasts out there. And please check out the YouTube channel, Locked On Golden Knights. Chris does a phenomenal job on the YouTube channel. I just, before we get into WTF, kudos to our lady friend, Taylor Swift, too, because she donated a lot of money to Three Square here in Las Vegas.
Okay. Yep.
So she's not just showing up and doing her show and cashing in at the hotel cage and taking off. So kudos for helping to feed a lot of the folks here in Southern Nevada at a time where they desperately need it. Okay. So that's a WTF on a good end, right? So I saw that. I said, WTF. Taylor Swift, we were just talking about you on the show. So
I'm sure she listens.
I want to tell you, I'm sure she is. WTF. So I did talk to a couple of reporters there, some scribes that cross over between hockey coverage, and they did the hoops last night. So I was talking to some of the fellas. I had to follow up on my little tirade. How come we don't see assistant coaches being interviewed? Not accessible to reporters. VGK, what are you doing? WTF. And so what has happened there is some of the reporters have made requests to talk to assistant coaches. And the answer from the PR folks is, you need to talk to Bruce Cassidy about that. Go to Cassidy. No, we're just going to do it ourselves.
We're cool.
We won't allow them to be interviewed. Come on, man. Come on. And we did talk, so Gerard Gallant did. Gallant said, who was the goalie coach at the time? Gallant said,
I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Right. You got a question about goaltending? Go talk to him.
Right.
I don't know.
No, you are right about that.
Right.
You are right
Absolutely.
about that.
Like, go talk to this guy. Go talk to that guy. And then DeBoer, again, they were conducting the press conferences themselves. He had the assistant coaches. Kudos to Peter DeBoer for doing that. Come on, Bruce. People want to know. They want answers to these questions. This is kind of lame. So far, I've been really in tune. I really like Cassidy. I like the swayometer. I like everything about Cassidy, but he's got to allow his assistant coaches to do the media interviews. WTF.
I hear you. So I've got like 6 or 7 on my list. I've been taking
Just
the list all week. So I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 2 of them right
do
now.
them all. Do them all. I'm trying to preserve the voice. It's a little bit rough.
Okay, you do that, Tony. All right. So you guys know by now I do the hockey card thing. So they put out Young Guns every year in the Upper Deck product, which is basically your rookie card.
Wait. Before you go on, Chance the Raptor.
Gila Monster
tweeted at you.
Yeah, we're good buds. We go back.
Okay, the mascot for VGK, which might be the lamest mascot, WTF, in the entire NHL.
Awesome. Chance is
what
awesome.
Does he do?
Nice
What does he do?
You be nice. Chance is good. You watch Chance for a game.
Okay.
He works the crowd. He does his thing. Chance is a good dude. Me and Chance go way back, all the way back to Glendale Heights, Illinois. Me and Chance, and in Wheaton, Illinois, we go way back.
I know nothing.
So okay. So where Tony's going with this is Chance has a card that we pulled, but it's not a Young Gun. It's not a rookie card, and we tweeted that out earlier in the week. Chance gave a little love back, which is kind of cool. So Bowie, that's the mascot for the Seattle Kraken. He got a Young Gun this year. I think it's a he. I honestly don't know. He maybe not. I don't know. Either way, Bowie got themselves a Young Gun, but Chance never got a Young Gun card. So WTF Upper Deck, I want my Chance Young Gun. Let's see. Here's another one. Watching the Oilers game the other night. What is with these idiots? Hope I can say idiots, but what is with these idiots holding up signs? So, the camera is overlooking the crowd or whatever on the east-west shots. You have these morons in like the third row holding up signs, like turning around facing the camera while the puck is in with like messages on them and stuff. Like, those people need to be thrown out of games for that. I mean, the idiots that stand up and wave and stuff, that's fine, whatever. I'll tolerate that because bozos are bozos. But if you're going to hold up a sign to distract people so the people behind you can't see, and we're talking about the game in Edmonton when it probably costs $1,000 to sit on the lower bowl by itself. So WTF, get those clowns out of here. You can buy yourself, Tony. This is for you. I hope I'm not stealing your thunder here. You can now buy some Cherries gear at the Golden Knights stores. You can get your Bournemouth gear and everything. So that was a big thing this week, big media campaign. So I'm sure you're very excited about that. WTF, everyone making a big deal about Fanatics getting the game day jerseys. Like, who cares? Why do you care that Fanatics are getting the game day jerseys? Like, everyone's saying, oh, they're going to rip open. They're using that picture of Paul Cotter Fanatics jerseys in 23, 24 right now. Like, just stop it, folks. Just stop making a big deal about nothing. Logan Thompson, what the heck are you doing? Taking a little gander, trying to get the linesman's attention when there's a game going on. WTF, Logan Thompson. And this one tilts me, actually. I'm tilted right now on this one. Milan Lucic scores a goal last night. He scores a nice goal on a one-timer on a 2-on-1 rush, one of the few they gave up. My problem with the play, Braden McNabb and Milan Lucic, they are neck and neck at the opposite blue line. Braden McNabb, there's not a lot of people he'll win a foot race against. Milan Lucic is in that category. And Lucic beat him down the ice. So Braden McNabb, how do you get beat on that? Like, that's the one thing no one was talking about on that play. And that'd be like me beating Tony in a race right now. I'm sure we both got bad knees and we're a little past our prime, but I think Tony can definitely definitely beat my back, my knees, my weights. I mean, call it what it is, folks. Call it what it is. All right.
WTF. We saw that. Yeah, that was terrific. That was great. WTF. This is our therapy session. The NHLPA, they came out with that list where they polled players. And one of the areas I felt that they missed or lacked, I felt Jack Eichel should get some recognition as one of the top passers.
We talked about the poll. Jeez.
Well, one of the top passers, not in the top 5,